All right, everyone. Hi, I am Charmaine Sellers, Director of Meeting26 Studios. I'm so excited that so many of you were able to hop on for tonight's meeting. I will not be before you long. I just want to make sure that everybody's on the same page regarding summer, give you details about showcase, our upcoming showcase, and then a touch point so that if anybody has any clarifying questions, you all can ask me and everybody can be on the same page with the clarity that they need. I know sometimes I am not always at the front desk when you guys come in, and we have a lot of new families that have joined for summer. So, welcome to all of our new families. Thank you all so much for joining the Main Attraction family. And so I want to make sure that if there's information that you need from me, you have access to me at least once a month. Of course, you can also reach out to me during, regular anytime really with the studio phones, all the text messages that you all have been receiving. That is a direct number. It is not like a bot or a mass text number. That is an actual phone that we have for the studio. So when you're getting those text messages, if you have any questions or if you want to follow up, you can absolutely do that and someone will respond to you. So I wanted to make that clear as well. As I said, tonight's meeting is not going to be super long. I just want to give you all some details for summer, details for showcase, and then give you all the opportunity to ask me any clarifying questions that you may have after the fact. So let's get into it. So first, I want to make sure, like we said, I will be sending text messages to you all, and I separate the text messages by age group. So, for the most part, you will be receiving information that is specific to your dancer's age group. We have a couple different age groups. So, our preschool program for ages 3 to 6, that's our Shining Stars program. And then 7 to 12, ages 7 to 12, that's our Superstars. And then we have Showstoppers, which is 10 to 15, 16. And so those are our older dancers that have been with us for a couple of years, slightly intermediate advanced group. So again, I have you all separated by age group so that when you're getting information from me and when you're getting those text messages, it is specific to your age. Now, some of them will be the same across all age groups because a lot of the information is similar across, but there will be times where there's specifics. Like, for instance, if a teacher is sick or something and we're not going to be able to have your dancer's class, I'll send that information. One of the things that you can definitely count on is pretty much every Sunday, I will be sending out like our weekly updates. Sunday is our busiest day at the studio, and so you should get a weekly updates text from me somewhere between like 11 a.m. to like 12:30, 1 o'clock at the absolute latest. I try to send the message before classes start on Sunday. That way, if anyone needs any clarification, they can stop by the front desk, ask myself, or ask one of the other front desk assistants, and they should be able to give you the clarity that you need, answer any questions you have. So please make sure you're checking that group text at least every Sunday between 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. I try not to send a lot of other text messages throughout the week because I don't want to bombard you guys with information. So Sundays will be that set day, that set time. And then if anything else comes up throughout the week, I may send one or two text messages, but for the most part, it'll just be on Sundays. There may be a few more texts as we get closer to showcase because new information is coming up. And I also try to keep the text messages fairly short. So if it starts to get too long, I might break it up, all of that jazz. Long story short, just check your text messages on Sunday so that you can have our most up-to-date updates regarding the studio, and then any reminders of things that might be due or anything like that, any deadlines that I'll have for you all when something needs to be submitted to the studio, so we can run effectively and efficiently. In addition, please make sure you can try to get your dancers to class at least 10 minutes before their scheduled class time. So this allows them to, get situated, change their clothes, use the bathroom, and not miss any valuable instruction time. Especially for summer, our summer session is a lot shorter than our normal season. And with us getting ready for our summer showcase, I think almost every class, excuse me, has already started their choreography for for that class. And so we want to make sure that our dancers don't miss anything. They don't feel out of place if they come a little late. So try your best to get your dancer to class at least 10 minutes before class time so that they have time to prep and then come in without having missed anything. Also, make sure that they are properly dressed each week. I know this is the first couple of weeks, and again, a lot of our families are brand new. So I just want to go over these important details because there may be some families that don't know. So we want to make sure we're all on the same page. For instance, hip hop attire for class, really simple, just gym clothes. So a t-shirt or a hoodie up top, and then leggings or sweatpants. Shorts are also fine because we're in warmer months. And then tennis shoes. So please make sure if you have that you have tennis shoes for your dancer that have not been worn outside because we're coming in from a parking lot that's shared by some other groups. We share the space with a few other organizations. We don't want to track, rocks or dirt, glass, anything like that into the rehearsal space. And so once your dancer comes in, we'll have them change into the tennis shoes that were not worn outside. So then we can make sure that the rehearsal floor is safe for all of our dancers. In addition, for dancers who are taking other classes, so your ballet, jazz, acro, those classes require a leotard and tights and then with the proper footwear on bottom. So either ballet slippers, jazz shoes, tap shoes. Acro is usually done barefoot or with socks. So no big thing there, but just making sure that you have the proper change of footwear for those other classes, super important. Also, making sure that you're not wearing dance shoes outside. Most of the dance shoes that we have, especially ballet and jazz, those are a soft sole, so it's not meant to be worn outside and could actually ruin the shoes. So hip hop shoes, set pair for dancers once they come in, change into those shoes, and then making sure that ballet shoes, jazz shoes, any type of footwear that is specific for a class, it's not worn outside because we don't want to ruin the shoe. We want to preserve it as long as possible. If for whatever reason your dancer arrives and they don't have the proper attire, maybe they spent the night at grandma's house and forgot their bag or what have you, we can supply things for them. So we can supply leotard tights, proper shoes for them if they need it, or if your dancer outgrows any of their required attire for a class, we have a studio store where we can supply the items that you need. And you can either pay us up front with a card or we can add the fees to your account and pull it when it's time to pull tuition. So just being a reminder of that. Speaking of tuition, we do things a little bit differently at our studio. We bill actually 10 days before the new month starts. So for instance, most of you paid June tuition in May. And the same thing will go for July tuition. So we're going to post tuition and costume fees starting tomorrow. So it's usually posted between the 15th and like the 17th or 18th of each month. And then depending on which date you selected for your tuition withdrawal, then we will pull it on that day. So our most common options are the 20th or the 25th of each month. And so with that, July tuition will be paid for when we pull your card on June 20th or June 25th. If anything happens where we can't process it, then we'll send you a message to let you know, and then we'll give you some options on how to get that to us and the deadline of when we need it by. Costume fees are going to be added tomorrow as well. Keep a reminder that costume fees are $75 per class plus your t-shirt fee. So as a result, your total costume fees for each of your dancers is going to vary depending on the number of classes in which your dancer is enrolled. So, an example, with a $75 class fee and a $40 t-shirt fee, if your dancer is only in one class, then your total costume fee will be $114. I'm sorry, $115. If your dancer is in two classes, then that goes up another 75 because that's the extra costume. So two classes is 190, so on and so forth. Because we have a very tight turnaround, we're starting costume payments pretty early in the summer because we want to give you all time to make installment payments if you need to. We realize there's tuition coming out and costume fees, so we don't want to overwhelm your budget. Make sure that it is still, financially feasible for you all to participate, for your babies to still be able to participate this summer. So we are actually fine with you making installment payments for the costume fees as long as everything is paid in full by Sunday, July 5th. So you have about, I want to say, 3 or 4 weeks from now. Once we add those fees tomorrow, you'll have about 3 to 4 weeks to submit everything. So if you need to break it up across, if you get paid the 15th or the 13th and 30th, or however that works for your payment schedule, you have a couple of weeks to break those payments up as long as everything is paid in full by July 5th. We're going to start ordering costumes pretty quickly thereafter. And we like to have that cushion time in case something comes to us and it's not right, or we need to change sizes, or the costume comes to us damaged, which is rare and unlikely. But in those moments, we just like to have extra cushion in case we need to send something back or wait for delayed shipping for any of the costumes. It just puts my mind at ease when we have a little bit more cushion time for costumes. So you can pay your costume fees using the card on file, the card information that you gave us during registration. You can also submit costume fees via our Cash App, which is Main Dance 26, or PayPal. If you are going to submit costume fees or costume installments via Cash App or PayPal, just make sure to add your dancer's name in the subject line so we know who that payment is for, so we can apply it to the correct account within our database. Um, and then we have a couple of families who have some unique situations. For instance, like if you're doing Sunday classes as well as our camp that starts next week, your costume fees are going to be a little different depending on which classes you're taking. So Dazzle will be performing, the camp will be performing 3 different times within the show. So that's 3 costumes. We also have a couple of families can't take who can't participate in the camp every single day, but they will be there like 2 or 3 days out of the week. So depending on which days your dancer is able to attend, then that will determine which of the costume fees you will be responsible for paying. So our classes are going to be on a rotation for camp. So we're doing ballet, jazz, and hip hop class rotations for our camps, and they're set days. So ballet is every day, and then we have jazz classes on Mondays and Wednesdays, and then hip hop classes on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So depending on which classes your dancer participates in will determine your costume fees. I hope that's not confusing, but for those families who have those unique set of circumstances, if you want to contact me offline, I can give you your specifics. To make sure that we're all on the same page and you understand what your fee is for costumes. Also, for those families who can only do certain days during the Dazzle camp, we ask that you please try to make sure that those days are the same each week, because we want to make sure that your dancer is able to learn the choreography, feels comfortable performing it on stage, because they've been there enough to have learned it. So if you can only do a certain number of days throughout the week as opposed to the full Monday through Friday camp, then we ask that it's like always Monday, Wednesday, or always Tuesday, Thursday, just to give us a little bit of structure and stability within our weekly routine as well as the dancer. We find that dancers usually do better when they have that set schedule each week. It's easier for them to catch the choreography, learn from each other, learn from their teacher, and just feel more comfortable when they're learning because they have that set schedule. Regarding showcase, we will have 1 day of dress rehearsal, which is actually going to be the same day as our showcase. I know for families who have been with us for a little while, we normally do our dress rehearsal and our summer showcase on different days. But again, because our summer schedule is a little smaller, we decided to give more days of instruction time so that the dancers had more time to learn the choreography. And then we'll just do the dress rehearsal and the showcase on the same day. So, dress rehearsal and showcase will be Sunday, July 26th. I know originally we had the showcase scheduled for the 19th. Unfortunately, the venue had a scheduling conflict, and so the 19th was no longer available. And so we moved it to the following Sunday, July 26th. The showcase venue is Parma Snow Library. It's the easiest address. It's 2121 Snow Road. So we're asking that you drop your dancer off at 1 p.m. at Parma Snow Library on Sunday, July 26th. And when your dancer is dropped off, it's at 1 o'clock, and they should already be dressed in their first costume. We are going to send you the show order and details about what each costume looks like. That way, when you check your email, you look at that showcase order, you have an idea of which costume your dancer is supposed to um, have on first, and then bringing any other costumes if they're in multiple pieces, bringing costumes in their bag with along with accessories and all those other things that may come with the costume. We want to make sure that all those things are in the bag with them and they are dressed in their first piece. I mean, in their first costume for their first piece. Our showcase attire is not only costumes, but we also have hair and face attire. We call it showcase hair and showcase face. So for showcase hair, we ask that it is pulled up into a bun or a high bun or a puff at the very top of their head with no bangs or no other hanging hair. Because we serve predominantly African American families, puffs are completely fine. We love puffs. So anything basically like how my hair is right now is perfect. French braids and box braids are also fine as long as it's in a style that can be pulled up into a bun and secured with like hairpins, bobby pins, scrunchies, hair ties, things like that. Our showcase face is flesh tone foundation with a dark red lip and like subtle gold eyeshadow, nothing too sparkly or glittery, with a thin strip of black eyeliner. And we make showcase face optional for our youngest dancers because we know with preschool age dancers, some families don't feel comfortable having their dancer in showcase face, which is totally fine. But the showcase hair is required. Showcase face is required for all older dancers, but it is optional for our Shining Stars preschool program and that is based on parents' comfort level with having their dancer wear makeup. It is showcase makeup and it's part of the costume, but for families who are just really not comfortable with that, for children that young, we totally understand. So it's optional for our babies on showcase day. So like I said, you're going to drop your dancer off at 1 o'clock, already dressed in their first costume, showcase hair, showcase face, and then you can, run some errands or do anything that you need to do in the meantime. And then we will open the doors to the audience at 3 p.m. So showcase and dress rehearsal will be in the same location, Parma Snow Library. You drop your dancer off at 1 o'clock. You come back at 3:30 to be let into the theater. And then the show will start at around 3:45, 4 p.m. We are expecting the show to last about maybe 45 minutes, and you're out and you enjoy the rest of your day. Um, Our tickets will go on sale for Showcase starting, let me look at that, Sunday, June 28th. And you'll have a couple different ways to be able to purchase tickets. All of them will be electronic. We'll have an Eventbrite link that we'll share with families. You can also go to our Instagram page, which is Main Attraction Dance, Main spelled Mayne. Also, if you don't already follow us on social media, go there, get information about what's going on with the studio. We also do a lot of features of things that are happening in real time in the classroom, so you'll get to see your baby on the page. So tickets on Eventbrite, our main attraction Instagram page, and our studio website. So our studio website is www.mainattractiondance.com, and then you're going to go to the showcase tab. I'm actually going to share my screen so you all can get a feel for what our website looks like, so you'll be able to navigate. Oh, Brittany, I didn't see your hand. Sorry, love. What's up?
Hey, sorry. So I have a question. I'm a
Mhm.
little challenged. So, the camp for Monday through Friday, I presumed, and correct me if I was wrong, that it was every day, Monday through Friday from 8, I think, to 3 or 3:30. And the dancers, had a specific whatever schedule that you came up with. But is it that not the case if they're doing like dance, you said ballet, hip hop, and tap. So if your child is only doing hip hop, they will only go to class that specific day. And I think somebody else asked the same question, and correct me if I'm wrong. So if you're only doing one class, you don't go to the church camp every day, Monday through Friday.
Okay, I'm glad you posed the question that way. Let me clarify. So we have two different sets of camps. So we have 45 to 60-minute camps on Sunday only. That's ballet, jazz, acro, and hip hop. Then we have our Dazzle camp, like you were saying, and that's Monday through Friday. So during if you signed up for your for Dazzle camp, that is in fact every day, Monday through Friday 8:30 to 3 p.m. In the morning for that camp, we'll have our reading program and then lunch. And then in the afternoon is when they'll have their rotation of ballet, jazz, and hip hop classes. So their schedule is exactly how you understand it. It is Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 3, morning reading program. And then they have their own rotation of classes during each day. And we've separated, so ballet is going to be every day of the camp. And then they will have a rotation of some days it'll be jazz, some days will be hip hop.
Thank you so much. And then my last question, is lunch provided or they have to pack a lunch?
Nope, it is absolutely provided. And as soon as we get our menu, we will share that with you all so you have the opportunity to look through anything. We were very, very intentional with the program that is providing our lunches. There's no pork, there's no peanuts, anything that we know is like a common food allergy. We made sure to request that those things are not added within our breakfast or our lunch menu. And as soon as they share that with us, which we should have this week because they're going to start bringing the food to us to have it for the dancers next week, we'll share that menu with you all so that you can look through if there's any additional allergies that are a little less common. Then you might be asked to provide lunch for your dancer that day. But for the most part, they will have breakfast and lunch provided every day.
Okay, thank you for clarifying.
Of course. Siobhan?
I just had just a quick question. So you said hip hop is on Tuesdays and Thursdays in the afternoon?
Yes, for the camp only. So we have a Sunday hip hop class, which families signed up for if for whatever reason the all day camp wasn't an option for them. So that's a hip hop class. And then we have a hip hop class within the Monday through Friday camp, in
Mm-hmm.
addition to a ballet class and a jazz class. So to make sure that they don't get like super drained or burnt out throughout the week, they're only doing 2 classes a day, but there's a 3 class rotation throughout the week.
And then on the, so I guess what do they like Reagan, for example, does hip hop. She's in the
Hmm.
Monday through Friday camp. So
Hmm.
she does hip hop. So like you say you do ballet on Monday. Will she be doing that as well? Or cause she oh, okay. So she'll be learning kind of everything?
Yeah, so it's basically like a sample platter. We wanted to
Okay.
provide a number of options of classes for our camp kids. That way, if it's something that they like and didn't know that they liked it because they were only taking 1 class previously, then maybe they could potentially add that to their schedule once we come back for fall.
Okay. And then the Dazzle camp, are they in the showcase or no?
Absolutely.
They
Yeah.
will be. Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Mhm. Of course. Good questions. Glad I was able to offer clarity. Any other questions before I share my screen to show you all how to navigate the website?
Yes, I do have one
Mhm.
question.
Yes.
For the Shining Stars for the Acro Hip Hop, do we switch up their outfits or is it just, or it doesn't matter?
No, so everybody will have a set costume. So the teachers who are teaching those classes will select
Uh,
costumes for the dancers, and that's what they'll perform in for the show. And even though they're learning 2 different genres within the same class, they will only perform one time during the
okay,
summer show.
okay,
Mhm.
alrighty.
And Janae, Janae, you got a question, love?
Sorry about that. Was tech. So a couple questions. What is the attire for Dazzle Camp?
So they can wear normal, summer clothes during the day. I'm actually glad you said that because I forgot to address that. So normal summer clothes in the morning, and then it's best to kind of have their leotard on under said summer clothes, and then they change after lunch to be ready for ballet, jazz, and hip hop class.
Okay. And second question. So I guess basically to piggyback off some of the other questions. So for example, if Journey takes ballet on Sunday and Thursday, in addition to Dazzle. So on a Dazzle day, that's also a regular summer program ballet day. So so she'll leave at 3 and then have that little 2 hour break and come back at 5.
Yes, and so we'll try it out to see. But I am have no doubts that Journey will tell me if she's burnt out or not. So
You know, she will.
we'll we'll start it out and see, how she does. This is also our attempt at trying to help our dancers build their endurance and strength throughout so that they have that additional endurance and strength throughout our normal season. Usually, as dancers grow with main attraction, they tend to add a few more classes each year that they are with us. And so this is our attempt to also help them get used to what a longer, slightly more rigorous schedule will look like for them as they grow in the program as well.
Okay. And last question. If she is only able to attend Dazzle the first 2 weeks, will she be performing with Dazzle on in the showcase as well, or just her ballet portion?
I think ballet portion will probably be best because we don't want to overwhelm the kiddos if they have only learned portions of the choreography from camp, but they feel super comfortable with the Sunday classes. We'll probably just have them perform with the Sunday classes and just come for the experience of Dazzle because they'll still have that reading program in the morning.
Okay. Thank you.
Hmm. Good questions. We all being all attentive. We love it. All right, let's share the screen so you all will can see how to navigate our website. Okay. Thumbs up if you can see the new screen. Okay, fantastic. So This is our website for those of you who have never had the opportunity to navigate. This is our website. This is our homepage. So you go to mainattractiondance.com and whatever is happening, like the biggest news that is happening at the studio, is usually going to be the first thing that you see on our website. And right now, because we're only 2 weeks into summer session, we have all roads leading to, if you want to try a summer class, do that. Then there's a little bit more about who we are, our mission, our vision, why choose main attraction. We've had a number of dancers go on to do amazing things as a result of the training that they've received at main attraction. And so we love to be able to highlight that. Class schedule, if you're ever uncertain about what classes are happening during that season, you can click this link. There's also a brief description and picture of all of the genres or styles of dance that we offer at Main Attraction for families. We usually have a lot of families when they come to Main Attraction, it's usually their first experience with dance studio or dance training. And so we want to make it as accessible and easy to understand as possible for our new families. And so we have these visual aids and brief descriptions so you have a better understanding of like what your dancer may want to do. And based on the descriptions, then that might help you better educate you in making the best selection for your dancer. Like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. That's exactly what I want because this matches my kid perfectly. So on and so forth. And then testimonials at the bottom. The important part for when you're looking for showcase details, you want to go to our main page, and then our menu here, go to showcase, and then you'll see all things showcase. So, as we are starting our summer choreography in the next, week or two, we will start taking videos within the class of how the dancers are warming up and stretching, and then the first couple 8 counts of their choreography. When we take those videos, we will upload them to our YouTube channel and share them with you all so that you have the opportunity to help your dancer practice at home. So once they start learning choreography, we take videos, upload them to our channel. We share that link with you so you can help your dancer practice at home. It also gives you a little sneak peek of what you will see in the show. So that link is right here. Then right below that is the link for our showcase tickets. Right now, this link will get you to our previous show. We haven't updated it yet, but it should be updated within the next week or so. And then for anyone who wants to see previous shows that we've done, you can find that here. We are also moving toward a more environmentally friendly studio. And so we don't do paper programs anymore. We do digital programs. So on the day of the show, you'll be able to access your digital program there. This also allows you to keep a copy of it. I know we all have that drawer of, graduation programs and all those things. This makes it a little bit easier for you to keep up with it. Because I know my drawer with those things in it is overflowing right now. Another important section of this page on the website is our frequently asked questions. Most of the time, we get the same questions regarding Showcase, and so I want to go over those with you. So, where can I purchase tickets? Remember, we'll send you an Eventbrite link. You can also go into the bio or the link within our main attraction Instagram page, and it'll be there. You can also find it right here on this section of the website. Um, is there anything else my dancer needs? In addition to their costume showcase here and showcase space, it's also helpful. It may also be helpful to pack them some healthy snacks and making sure that it's nothing that can stain their costumes. So examples like pretzels, string cheese, apples, bananas, granola bars, veggie straws, fruit snacks, water, and Gatorade only. Those are the drinks that are going to help them stay fueled for the day. Showcase can be a very long day, especially for our younger dancers. And so we want to make sure we're giving them the healthiest options possible so that those little bodies can run for a couple of hours until showcase is over. Something else, and again, I know that this sometimes makes parents a bit uncomfortable, but allow me to explain. For most of the costumes that we will get for your dancer, they do not require any kind of undergarments to be worn underneath. So underpants, undershirts, anything like that, because it creates really like bulky lines underneath, and we want the costume to be clean and uniformed and nothing like unsightly underneath. So for parents, I tell them they can usually treat their dancer's costume like a bathing suit. Because we don't wear undergarments under our bathing suit, you shouldn't need undergarments under your showcase costumes. For older dancers, we have flesh tone leotards that they wear underneath. If that's something that you want for your dancer, then we can, you give us the money, we can purchase that for you. And of course, the exception is for our older dancers, if they are experiencing Women's Week, the week of the show, then of course, we can give them some options that will allow them to feel comfortable while also keeping the bulky lines to a minimum underneath their costumes. What happens when I drop off my dancer? As dancers arrive, they are escorted either by parent volunteers or our staff to their particular dressing rooms. We ask that families not go backstage because it's a huge distraction to the dancers. Also, our dressing rooms they're only big enough to fit the dancers and any volunteers who will be helping them get dressed backstage. Trust and believe we have, trustworthy people back there, and we will make sure that your baby has everything that they need before, during, and after showcase. What happens if my dancer doesn't have all their costumes? Sometimes we pass out costumes and maybe a dancer is absent that day. If there's anything that a dancer still needs during dress rehearsal or showcase, there will be a box in that dancer's dressing room, and anything that that dancer needs should be in that box with their name already labeled on it. So as soon as they come in, either our parent volunteers or our staff will be able to get them what they need and get them situated for showcase. Do I need to help my child change costumes? You don't, again, because we have people backstage who their whole job is to make sure that your dancer has what they need, including getting them changed between costumes for each number. Who do you talk to if you have questions at Showcase? There should be people at the front. We'll have like a check-in table. So as families come in, we check your dancer's name off as they enter the space. Those people they know all the things. They are usually either, again, staff or parent volunteers who have been with the studio for years. And so they should have answers to any question you may have. It's also really important, like I said, to check your email, check the newsletters, and check those weekly text messages, because a lot of questions that parents have can usually be answered through those means. But of course, if you have any additional questions, of course, you can ask the people who are going to be at that check-in table for you or with you. Can dancers wear nail polish or jewelry? It is no. Short answer, no. We want dancers to be as uniform as possible. And so extra nail polish or anything like that is usually discouraged. And addition and jewelry, of course, is it could get lost, it could get damaged. Especially if it's big enough, it could potentially like scratch the dancer or cause some sort of injury, and we don't want that. So no nail polish, no jewelry. Can I take pictures? Absolutely. We know that most of our studio growth has come from word of mouth. Parents have a great experience with the studio, and so they tell people about it, or they take pictures and videos at the showcase, share it on social media, and tag us. So we thank you in advance for helping us grow and sharing your positive experience. with the studio on social media. All we ask is no flash photography while the dancers are on stage because that's a distraction. It could potentially lead to them missing a cue or potentially injuring themselves because they're distracted, and we don't want that. And if you are posting pictures and videos, please tag us, whether it's on Facebook or Instagram, and our tags are right there. Any audience expectations, basic stuff. Please refrain from yelling out to your dancers while they're on stage because that's a distraction. If you have to leave the theater, try to do so in between numbers. And so, as soon as one piece is done and they're leaving the stage, or right before the next piece comes on, any crying or agitated children, we ask you to remove them as quickly as possible. The show is going to be recorded. We have a fantastic videographer, so anything that you miss, you'll be able to catch in the playback. So this is all things showcase. Any questions about that? Because that just shared a lot of information. Let's check the chat. Siobhan, did I answer your question already about what do they do on days that they're not rehearsing?
Yes, thank you.
Yep. Of course. All right. We are almost done, friends. Like I said, I'm not going to be before you long.
When is the July 4th parade and where will it be located?
Um, Tentatively Warrensville. We will, we are, participation in July 4th parade is still tentative. And I'll give comp team more details about that as we get closer to the date. But it won't be so short notice that we don't have time to like get things together. So mark it off for now, and then I should know within the next week or so. Labor Day for sure. July 4th, tentative.
Charmaine, I do have a question about the costumes.
Yes.
Usually like in the prior showcases, you'll tell us like if we need to get shoes for our kids. Will you know if we when we need to get the shoes to go with the costume?
Yes, perfect. So for ballet and jazz classes, those dancers should already have those shoes, especially for our new families. We have, those pop-up shop options. We have our studio store. So if you need ballet shoes, if you need tap shoes, we can get those to you. For my hip hop babies, they will have that same high top black shoe. And I can share an Amazon link so you guys don't have to spend a whole lot of money. I think that she was like 30 or $35. So I will share that with you all next week. I got to double check and go back through previous emails that I've sent you all and just copy and paste that link in. But do not spend a whole lot of money on these tennis shoes. Does that answer your question?
Yes, perfect. Because I was like, I got the costume covered, but I forgot about the shoe.
Yeah. So yeah, for hip hop, that's our standard shoe. All black high top. It's fine if there's like a little white at the bottom or if there's a logo, so like an Adidas or a Nike, something like that, is totally fine. But I'm really glad that I was able to find those Amazon shoes because they're super cute and super cheap. So yeah, let's not spend any more money than we have to. All right, almost done, good people. Um, So, and fall is literally right around the corner. We start our fall semester in August. And so I want you to start thinking about, especially for our summer families, of course, we would love for you to remain with us and continue on into fall and winter sessions. I am finalizing our fall schedule and should have that in the next 2 to 3 days, definitely by the end of this week. So be on the lookout for like a fall class choice survey in your Sunday text message. Once we have that schedule finalized, I will share a link with you to a Google form where you input your information, your dancer's information. Let us know if you plan on staying with us going into fall semester, and then which classes you would like for your dancer. And the schedule will be set within the Google form, so you'll be able to see the day, time, and the age groups, so you'll be able to make that informed decision of exactly knowing exactly when the classes are for your dancer's age group. So you can, and then check all that apply. So whatever classes you want for your dancer, you can choose. I think there's at least anywhere from 3 to 5 classes for every age group because we offer ballet, jazz, tap, hip hop, and acro almost across every age group. So the schedule will be finalized, and that link to choose fall classes should be in your weekly text when I'm sending it out this Sunday. If you want to check your dancer's current classes, or if you need to be reminded of the schedule, that is perfectly fine. Again, we're only in the first 2 weeks of the season, so we're still trying to get familiar with our this new routine and summer class and all of that. You can also go into your parent portal. So I sent like the weekly schedule to you all a couple of days ago. You can also go into your parent portal and see your dancer's individual schedule, excuse me, in your parent portal. And then so if anybody is trying to get in and it's not allowing you to, you just may need an email to reset your password. So just send a quick text to the studio phone, and I can generate a password reset email for you so that you can log in to see your dancer's classes. If for whatever reason you need to change your card on file, you can do that. Yeah, so the parent portal literally has, you can see your payment history. So all the payments that you've made prior to. So Parent Portal is really like your one-stop shop for seeing your dancers classes, checking to make sure that your card on file is up to date, and checking your payment history. Once we have our showcase on the 26th, we will have our end of summer skate party at United Skates and Willoughby that same evening. And then we will be closed for a few weeks until we start fall session, which is Sunday, August 9th. So I think it's like a 2 or 3 week break between summer showcase and the start of fall semester. And for those of you who do choose to stay with us for fall, which we hope is all of you, just know that your payment schedule will continue because, again, we've paid for June. July tuition will be withdrawn from you all either on the 20th or 25th of this month. And then same thing for August. That payment schedule is going to continue. So then if you want to stay for fall, then we'll have that payment come out for you on July 20th or the 25th, depending on which date you chose for your auto withdrawal date. We are asking for a $25 fall semester deposit payment submitted by Sunday, July 12th, and that's to reserve your dancer spot in fall classes, but that deposit payment is going to be withdrawn from your tuition fee. So it's not an additional fee. It's just to reserve, and then you pay the rest when we pull it out on the 20th or the 25th. I hope that makes sense. You can also, and then you'll be able to see those classes as well in your parent portal. So once you complete the form by the 5th, so between these next couple of weeks, complete the fall choice form by July 5th. Give your deposit payment by Sunday the 12th. We will move your dancer over, like go into the system and move them over and add them to fall semester classes. And then we'll continue with those monthly payments on the 20th or the 25th of each month, depending on which date you chose for when you completed your enrollment form. That And what time is class tomorrow? Oh yeah, so for families who are participating in festivals and parades this summer with our comp team, that class to prepare for tomorrow is 5:30 to 7. Good stuff, people. We had some really good questions tonight. Y'all were all attentive and engaged, and we love it. Any final questions before we finish out for the evening? And of course, if anything else pops up after the meeting, of course, shoot me an email or a text, and I try to respond to you all within like half a day. I'm not as quick, but within a day, you should hear from me.
So
Thank you.
Charmaine, I had one question before we leave.
Yes,
I think this was like before in one showcase we got to buy like pre-order like some flowers or things like that. Will you have that this time or no? Like if
absolutely. Yes.
okay.
We'll have our we call them showcase specialty items. Look at you.
I was remembering because it was so helpful to have it and then just pick it up the day of the
Absolutely.
showcase.
So yeah, I'll create an order form for you all and share that link with
Okay.
um Sunday text next week. And
Okay.
if you don't see it in the text next week, remind me and I can
Okay.
whip it up.
Okay.
All roads for me right now are leading toward camp because I'm training my people and we're getting all the books ordered and all of that. So I definitely want to offer that to you all. So if you don't see it in the text message next week, let me know and I'll whip it up for you and send a link over.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Mhm. All right, good people. Thank you all so much. Great meeting. I really appreciate your questions. I'm really excited. And for those of you who do not know, I don't know if I've shared this like publicly. I know I've talked to a couple of parents, but our theme for Summer Showcase is The Wiz. And I'm telling you, you guys will not even be able to handle the cuteness overload that is going to be on this stage. It's going to be great. I'm so excited. The Wiz is actually one of my favorite
Oh,
movies.
right, my favorite.
Because it's Michael Jackson, like, what are we talking about? So I'm very, very excited for the show. The kids are excited. It's gonna be great. And I'm confident that they're gonna put on a great show because they're so excited. So many of them have seen the movie, especially now with the Michael biopic coming out and being literally the most lucrative successful biopic movie ever. I think it like just crossed $1 billion in the box office. And so now with this surge of Michael fandom coming out, the kids are really excited about doing The Wiz because it's Michael Jackson. So, and did. So yeah, it is now officially the most successful biopic film that has been released. And we love that. All right, good people. Again, thank you all so much for hopping on tonight's meeting. Of my host, this is hilarious. If you all need anything, of course, send me a text or an email and just be on the lookout for those Sunday text messages for all of your studio updates and reminders. Have a good evening, everybody. Bye.
You too.
Thank you. Bye.